Hi all, welcome to Research with Ria. This will be a first video of this channel, which is the starting of a podcast series. So when I planned of a podcast series, I thought like why shouldn't the first video is of myself. How I ended up receiving international travel grants, fully funded opportunities during the past 4 years of my PhD journey. And if I start, when I started my PhD journey in 2021 December, I was fond of these international travel conferences, workshops, symposiums, etc. And definitely we all know those are like very high registration fees and to and fro airfare. It's quite a big hole on the pocket if you don't have any funding. So then I came to know about travel grants, some funded by the registration, that conference registrations itself, some by the central government, even the institutions in which you do PhD do have such grants. So, but again, I was bit timid. I was not that confident in applying for such opportunities. Because back then I thought that these are for people from elite or premium research institutions like IITs, NITs, or at least you should be from some central universities and should be of very high track record with many publications or many achievements like that. But guess what? I was wrong. The point at which I decided to just give it a try, that changed everything. That was the point I realized it's nothing about where you come from, your background, your track record or something like that, or the institution in which you are from. It is just about your intent, how well you place yourself, how well you can market yourself to the funding agency that I am fit for this, I need this, I really need this. If you are able to convince the funding agency with such a conviction, it's yours. The travel grant will be all yours. So in this video, let's see the travel grants which I have achieved during my journey, as well as the very important part of a travel grant, which is the motivation letter. Or it is known by different names. Some call it personal statement, some call it the event benefits, how this event will benefit in a 2-page document. Some call it a motivation letter as well. So let's see one by one. Now let's start the journey. The first travel grant, international travel grant I applied was SETAC, which is the Society of Environmental Toxicology and Chemistry. Many people in environmental science, toxicology, chemistry field might know about this organization. They have chapters across the globe: Europe, North America, Australia, Asia Pacific. Yeah. And I applied for their European chapter, the SETAC Europe, to present my work in their 34th annual meeting in Spain. So while applying, I had to give my abstract, and they provided a travel grant, a student travel grant for students outside Europe. That was like 1,000 euro. 1,000 euro is nearly 1 lakh, I guess, in Indian money. So that will cover the registration fee, which is almost 400 euros, and the rest of the amount, nearly 600 euros, you will, if you get the grant, you will get it when you attend the conference. After that was the deal. And the thing was that this is for people or students from outside the Europe, and it was only just 5 grants from across the globe outside Europe. So I really had no hope, but I decided to give that a try. I applied for that, and the documents I needed was my CV, a letter from the head of the institution stating that I am a student there, and a letter from my mentor stating that this is my research area and I do PhD with her under her guidance, and a key document which I still believe that fetched me this travel grant. I got it. Yeah, I got that travel grant. I was one among that top 5 students who got funded from across the globe outside Europe with 1,000 euros. And that document, that key document which I was telling, is a motivation letter. I had to submit for applying this grant. I had to submit a 1-page document or motivation letter which should say stating how this event, how attending that conference and presenting my work there will benefit me, how that will help my future PhD journey, research career, or in any ways my research career or professional goals. So that I still believe. We will discuss about that letter in detail. This letter will come more of times in this series. So let's discuss that letter in detail. The second grant I applied is DST SERB. Back then it is known as DST SERB ITS, International Travel Support. Now I guess it is known as DST ANRF. I'm not sure of that ANRF expansion. Anusadhan National, something like that. I'll give the link to that here. I have actually done a detailed video on that travel grant. I'll give that that link. It will be shown here, so you can check it out. That was the second grant I got. That one also, like I said, I had to submit all my biodata, publication details. Then I had only one publication, one first author publication. Yeah, definitely a first author having a publication will improve your chances of getting that particular travel grant. It is of national reputation, and it will cover your to and fro airfare, then the visa support, airport ground duties and all, visa charges. What it doesn't cover is your food and accommodation. Such things it won't cover. So I used this travel grant for one of my international travel presentations, and here also I had to give the document which I stated earlier, motivation letter. So in this travel application, grant application, this document is known as event benefits. You have again the same document came. And I again believe that this is one of the most important thing here as well. Now if we move to the third one, the third travel grant, and this one I would say not a travel grant exactly, but this one is a conference assistance, financial assistance and registration fee waiver, I would say, than a travel grant. This is for my conference on applied psychology, and there is this international organization called International Association of Applied Psychology, which is a very well-known and prestigious organization for the psychology people. So for this organization, they conduct an international conference every 2 years. That is like biannual. This time it was known as the International Conference on Environmental Psychology. It was in Lithuania, and I applied with an abstract and also applied for this registration fee waiver and support, conference support, which is of 500 euros. So I applied for that. There also the same things, the CV, institution letter and letter from your guide, and again the motivation letter. But here it was like they have given a word limit. I guess it was 800 words. In 800 words you have to state why you need this, how this will benefit you, and it was through the online application system. Through that you have to write the statement and all. And I got that as well. But unfortunately, due to some other personal reasons and visa related reasons, I couldn't attend and present my work there. So I had to decline that offer. I had to decline this travel grant so that somebody else would benefit from that. The next two are like not travel grants but highly prestigious meetings. Those both are of SETAC, that is Society of Environmental Toxicology and Chemistry. So every year, every other year I would say, again biannual, they conduct a meeting for environmental scientists known as Young Environmental Scientists Meeting. It is called, abbreviation is known as YES meeting, SETAC YES. So I applied for that in 2023 as well as in 2025. Both the times I got it, and these meetings are for PhD students and early career researchers in environmental science. So it is free of cost. There is no registration fee. It is zero. Since it is free of cost, so many people from across the world do apply for it because it is biannual as well. So again, here they filter the applicants using their motivation letter or personal statement, which you need to submit along for your presentation submission form. And I was lucky. I got it both the times. 2 times I got the SETAC YES meeting. I got selected. One was in 2023, it was in Germany, and 2025 it was in Netherlands, I guess. And the final one, I was telling about a fully funded training program. Will be in September of this year, but the selection and all those things has finalized. It is in Brazil. It is a training program, a fully funded training program, which includes my airfare, 11 days accommodation, food, to and fro air tickets, everything will be covered. It is in Brazil. It is related to my research area. Since it is not yet over, I think I can't disclose it completely. So but it is of like for 100 people from across the world, 54 people just from Brazil and the 50 other from across the world. And from the email they have sent me, it was like they had got 1600 applications and they have to select just 100 from them, and I belong to the category of 50 non-Brazilians, and I got it. It will happen, hopefully, fingers crossed. It will happen in Brazil in September of this year. So again, there was an extensive part of motivation letter. I had to state that how this will benefit me professionally. It is for like PhD students and early career researchers as well in my research area. So yeah, that's the somewhat a long period funding, a fully funded one which I have received. Now let's move into the very important part which we have been discussing from the start of this video, that key document, that STAR document, the motivation letter or personal statement or the event benefit letter, whatever you name it, the same thing actually. So what it is, how you should focus on that. This is the most important part of this video. I personally believe so. So in this document, you have to be careful of certain things. The first thing is stick to the guidelines of it. Like check the application portal or the website for any particular format or guidelines for writing this, like the font styles, font type, size, page limit, word limit. Sometimes they even give character limits, not more than 1500 characters or 3000 characters, like that. Sometimes it will be page limits, 1 page, 2 page, like that. I haven't seen more than 2 pages yet. Sometimes it's word limit, 1000 words, 800 to 1000 words, like that. So always stick to that, stick to the formats. This is very strict, because sticking to a format or a guideline, that's the word. Sticking to a guideline reflects your professionalism and credibility. How well you could follow will definitely reflect your professionalism. If you like fail here, it actually is a red flag, the first itself. So the first and foremost thing is stick to the guidelines. Now the second point is understand the event very well. And you might think that that's absurd. Like, who will apply for something without knowing that event? Yeah, that's sure. You only apply for a particular grant or conference if it aligns well with you. But I am particularly saying this because there are some conferences. For example, let's take the CITAC one as well. For their Europe meetings or annual meetings and all, it will be a broad event. There will be like so many subject areas, too many presentations. And that time I went, there were nearly like 3000 poster presentations across the 5 days. So there can be such conferences as well, and can also be very niche specific, 1-2 days with very specific, highly defined ones as well. So if your conference is a very broad subjected ones, then this is applicable. You have to understand your area, the area or the subject area, the theme under which you are applying, who all are the speakers, how well it aligns with you, all those things. That is the second most important thing you should understand before start writing. And the next point is make that letter a personal one. Don't take me mistake by when I use the word personal. What I mean is that it should have a personal touch without losing the dignity and professionalism. That should be balanced. There should be a balance of these three. When someone read that letter, they should genuinely feel that warmth, that personal touch. You should never plead or lose your dignity while writing such a letter. But still, they should feel it. They should feel that you really need this and you will really benefit from this. You have done your homework. In many ways, this will gonna like benefit you so much professionally and personally as well. Apart from the research perspectives which we have connected and have written in the letter, you can also tell things like this event will benefit you as a person to meet so many people, network, collaborate, as a cultural exposure, an international cultural exposure, like that. But limit that because I think many people, almost everyone will write that. So you should write that, but that should be like towards the last part of it or ending part of it, not in the starting part of pitching yourself to the funding agency. So that should come later only. Now, after having all these background works, we will write the motivation letter. So how to start it, how to structure it. Let's take this to be a 1-page document, and the opening definitely should be an introduction of you. It shouldn't be like your name, institution, your area of research in detail, but in a concise way, because you are already giving a CV. You have submitted an abstract, so no need to describe it again, a description of your CV. Don't waste your word limit and page limit by doing such things. But again, you need an opening, just one or two sentence maximum. that opening one. Next is the most important part. After that opening sentence, opening lines, the next part of it is you should align your specific research with the theme and the sub-themes of that conference in such a way that it connects really well. It should feel like connecting some dots. I can give you an example here. Here you can actually point out specific speakers or laboratories. You are going to a conference and there you will meet a very eminent professor in your subject area, in your research area, whom you have been citing in all your papers, or that name came across when you have done your literature review, is such a famous person in your area. Then you should definitely call that person in your area. Or this will be a training workshop and you will get a hand-on experience in some particular softwares or techniques like that, which directly aligns with your future work or your ongoing PhD work. Then you should point that out. Then you should specifically point that out. That's what I meant by connecting the dots. So you should here, if you want to do this, you should do a good homework of the key speakers, the training modules, the workshop pattern, their daily schedule and all. Then only you can pitch this. You can pitch it. So this is the main area. This is the proper area where they find, yes, she or he will benefit from this. She or he need this. This is the point. This is the very important point which will grab you the opportunity of a travel grant for a conference. The next very important thing is use of AI tools. Yeah, this is disputable because we all use ChatGPT, Claude AI, Gemini AI, and yeah, Perplexity AI. So many things are there. So if you give the brochure and if you give the some prompt, the right prompt, it will give you wonderful motivation letter or personal statement, no doubt about that. But again, that will definitely lack the personal touch or warmth which I have mentioned earlier, and there will be some sentence or structuring which a experienced person who know about AI, who use AI, even if I am not that experienced person in my area, if I get a letter which is written by AI, I can easily identify that. So like that, those people, those funding agency, funding people, committees are all like, they are doing this for years and doing this like hundreds and thousands of applications every year. With seconds, fraction of seconds, they can assess a letter written by AI. So I won't say that you shouldn't use AI. I have used AI in my letters as well, but that is more for limiting the word limit. The thing with me is like, I write in a very explained way. Sticking to the word limit is something difficult for me, so for that purpose I use AI. Then for grammar, structuring, all those things I do use AI. And if I am like I'm overflown with ideas, I have so many things in my head, how to put that into a one page thing, that brainstorming thing also I do use AI. So those are the things those are the tasks I give AI to write. I don't ask AI to write a letter for me, write a motivation letter for me, because this is my story, my letter, so I should write it. This is my story. I know my story better than any AI. And finally, what I want to tell you is that you shouldn't reject yourself. So For these international opportunities, you really don't need a elite institution or premium research institution background or already international exposure, a very huge publication record, nothing like that. All you need is that motivation, dare to dream. It's your space, this is your opportunity. PhD phase is the best period to experiment with topics, test your limits, build your confidence, everything. So just apply. You have nothing to lose. Either you get it or you won't get it. Next time, let's try better, maybe fail better, and we will try again. That's it. So do give a try. Act now, that's the thing. So yeah, then you should have that clarity, what you really intend to achieve from that, what you will get, what exactly you will get. That clarity will give you that funding, that will fetch you that funding that most people lack. So yeah, that's it. Only these two things matter. And yeah, that's all for this video. If you have any doubts regarding this, you can ask me in the comment section. I am definitely planning for a workshop series on this topic. There I can give you like one-on-one consulting opportunities and one-on-one attention. So if you find that interesting, yeah, do let me know. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, do support. If you want to know more about such travel grants and all, I have already done 3 videos on travel grants. You can have a check on them, what all things are available in India for Indian PhD students, and other funding opportunities and fellowship opportunities. This channel is all about that. Yeah, thank you so much. Do watch and subscribe if the theme of this channel aligns well with you. Thank you.